Hello students, so here we are with the next part of our chapter, that is polymer. So first we will see here few examples of addition polymers. Okay, so first is that addition polymers that I have already discussed in our previous class. Okay, so just let's see some examples. So these examples are important. Okay, so first is isoprene. This is the monomer. Okay, this is the monomer. I will show the structure of the monomer and then the polymer. So what is the structure? What is the structure of isoprene? Isoprene is having the structure CH2 double bond carbon, single bond CH3, single bond carbon, double bond CH2. Okay, so the name of the monomer is isoprene, and isoprene is having the structure. Now what will be the structure of the polymer? So again, now just these carbons which are having double bonds between them, the position of the double bond will be changed, and on both sides there will be the formation of two new bonds, two new single covalent bonds for continuation of the chain. So this double bond, it will shift to this place, it will make a bond here, and here also the formation of a new bond. Okay, so this is the structure of the polymer, where in between two carbon there comes a double bond. Okay, here one CH2, on both sides there are two CH2, and this is CH3. So the name of the monomer was isoprene. So the name of the polymer is polyisoprene. And the important thing is that this is the structure of natural rubber. Okay, natural rubber. So if the question comes that what is the structure of natural rubber, or what is the chemical name of natural rubber, so the chemical name of natural rubber is polyisoprene, and the chemical structure is this. Okay, and what is the monomer? The monomer is isoprene, and the structure of monomer is given. Next is that this is natural rubber that is obtained in nature. Next is synthetic rubber, that is chloroprene. Chloroprene just having the same chain, only Cl at the place of CH3. So CH2 double bond carbon, single bond Cl, single bond carbon, double bond CH2. So after polymerization, again this single bond will be double bond, and these two double bonds will be single bond. Okay, double bonds will be changed into single bond, and single bond will be changed into double bond. So here we are getting this structure: CH2 single bond carbon, single bond Cl, double bond carbon, single bond CH2. Okay, so this compound, so it is, the name is polychloroprene. Okay, polychloroprene, and the common name that is used, synthetic rubber. Okay, synthetic rubber. Okay, now next example is that next type of rubber, that is, these all are addition compounds. Okay, these all are addition compounds, because as you see, no elimination of any simple molecules are taking place here. So next example, next polymer we are seeing is Buna S rubber. Buna means here one monomer is butadiene. Butadiene means 4 carbons will be there. 1,3-butadiene. Okay, 1,3-butadiene. CH2 double bond CH, single bond CH, double bond CH2. Okay, plus styrene. S for styrene. So styrene is having the formula CH, single bond benzene ring, double bond CH2. Okay, so these two are there. All of them are having N molecules. Okay, here I am just showing the monomers and the polymer, but all of them are having the number N. So here after addition, again there will be the change in double bond to single and single bond to double. So single bond CH2, single bond CH, double bond, there will be double bond, single bond CH2. Now this carbon will make a bond with this carbon, single bond CH, below there is a benzene ring, single bond CH2, a bond will be there also. Okay, after that whole bracket, at subscript there will be N. Okay, at subscript there will be N. So this is the structure of Buna S rubber. Okay, so by this way we can get different types of addition polymers. Okay, several examples you could see in your notes. Another one example that is also very important, that is Teflon. The name of the polymer is Teflon, where the monomer is tetrafluoroethylene. That means the main structure is of ethylene, just like CH2 double bond CH2, but in place of hydrogens there will be fluorine. Okay, so the structure is CF2 double bond CF2. So how many fluorines are there? Total 4, and 4 means tetra. Okay, so that's why it is called tetrafluoroethylene. The basic structure is of ethylene. Now when they are making a polymer, so then the name is Teflon, as well as you can say it as polytetrafluoroethylene. Okay, so the structure will be again double bond will be changed into single bond. On both sides there are single covalent bonds, and at subscript there is N. So these are very important for your exams. Okay, next we will see few examples or several examples of condensation polymers. Condensation polymers. So one example I have already discussed in the previous class, okay, that I will tell again. So first type of polymer that is obtained by condensation, that is nylon 6,6. Very important. Okay, nylon 6,6. So first I am describing the monomer, and then I will tell that why there is written 6,6. So here the monomers are, one is hexamethylene diamine. Okay, this is hexamethylene CH2. The name of CH2 is methylene. How many methylene are there? 6. Therefore it is called hexamethylene. On both sides there are 2 NH2 group, so therefore diamine. Hexamethylene diamine plus adipic acid. Adipic acid has the formula CH2 whole 4. On both sides there are COOH. Okay, on both sides there are COOH. In middle there is CH2 whole 4. So when they are combining with each other, there will be again the removal of one water molecule. Okay, one water molecule will be removed, and finally we will get a compound like this, NH single bond CH2 whole 6 single bond NH. Okay, from here one OH will be removed, so there will be one CO single bond CH2 whole 4 single bond CO single bond, bracket close, at the subscript there is N. Okay, so you could note it down in your copy also. Okay, because in your PDF note I have not written this structure, so just write it down from here. NH CH2 whole 6 NH single bond CO CH2 whole 4 CON. So one H2O molecule will be removed from here for the formation of this compound. So that's why it is called condensation. Condensation means the compounds which are obtained by elimination of a simple molecule. Okay, so why there is written 6,6? Because observe here, two monomers are there. In the first monomer there is also 6 carbon, and in the second monomer there is also 6 carbon, 4 in the middle and 2 carbons are there outside the bracket. Okay, so there is also 6 carbon and there is also 6 carbon. That's why there is written 6,6. So because both monomers contain 6 carbon atoms. Write this point also. Okay, both monomers contain 6 carbon atoms. For this reason 6,6 is written with nylon. Okay, so this is the example. So several examples are also there, okay, that you could see in your notes that I have given. So these all are the condensation polymers which we can get by the elimination of a simple molecule. Next topic is vulcanization. Okay, vulcanization. So what is vulcanization? So if we want to convert the thermoplastics into thermosetting plastic, okay, because thermosetting plastic, they are more stable. Okay, they are more stable and they have more strength than the thermoplastics. So if we want to change the thermoplastic into thermosetting plastic, then we should go through vulcanization. So this is the process to convert the thermoplastic into thermosetting plastic. So vulcanization could be done with the help of sulfur. Okay, so a very little amount of sulfur, almost 3 to 4% sulfur is added with the polymer compound, with the polymer chain. So sulfur helps to make cross links between them. Okay, suppose these are the polymer chain. Okay, and this is gone through sulfur vulcanization. So after sulfur vulcanization, there will be bond. These two chain will be interlinked between them with the help of sulfur atom. There will be interlinking or cross-linking by sulfur atom. Okay, which makes them more strong, more elastic. Okay, so this is the process of sulfur vulcanization. So what are the advantages of sulfur vulcanization? Because suppose this was initially that I have shown, that was the natural rubber, and after sulfur vulcanization we are getting the vulcanized rubber. So this is the vulcanized rubber. Okay, so vulcanized rubbers are more strong, they have more tensile strength than the natural rubber or than the normal rubber. Okay, and they have less tendency of absorbing water, less reactivity towards different chemical solvents. So many other advantages of there. Okay, many other advantages of vulcanized rubber are there. For this we try to convert the natural rubber into the vulcanized form because it is more suitable to use. Okay, so that is the need of vulcanization. Okay, and now the last topic is that is two types of polymers depending on their decomposition. Okay, the polymers which can be decomposed easily, this I am showing on board. Depending on the nature of decomposition, two polymers are there. One is biodegradable polymers which can be decomposed. Another one is non-biodegradable polymer. Okay, so what are biodegradable polymer? So already you have learned this type of topic earlier, that biodegradable means that this can be decomposed to simple molecules. Okay, to simple inorganic molecules like carbon dioxide or something else with the help of microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, etc. So these are biodegradable. And the polymers which cannot be decomposed into simple molecules, okay? So that's why these are more harmful for our environment, which are non-biodegradable. So nowadays the demand of this biodegradable polymers are most than those non-biodegradable polymers. So some examples of biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Suppose the plastic bags we use, that means the polythene. So this is in this type: polythene, PVC, okay, polystyrene, polypropylene, all are under this grade, under this form. And biodegradable are just like polycaprolactone, polylactic acid, okay. So polylactic acid, polycaprolactone, so many examples are there that are biodegradable polymers, okay. So these things you have to learn for your exam, okay. So for your exam, these two classes for polymers are enough, okay, that I have covered the syllabus. So you have to follow these two classes properly, and you have to follow the notes that I have given. So all of you, best of luck for your exam, okay. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.